بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين باعث الأنبياء والمرسلين ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله وصحبه منتجبين. قالت زينب سلام الله عليها: اللهم تقبل منا هذا قربان. Dear brothers and sisters, I'm pleased that we were listening to our young boys and girls. They really are the hope and the inspiration of the future. One of the benefit and blessings of these kinds of centers is that these kinds of centers train the youth. And these young boys and girls have a very beautiful and positive future. These boys and girls are more capable of being a better mother and better father. And by coming here and delivering a talk, they will be wiser. They will be closer to Imam Hussein, and for that matter, to the highest standards and values. And that's why I strongly persuade everybody to listen to them and encourage them and ask the other young boys and girls to come forward and join us. And definitely we all learn from them. One may be needless of someone else education, knowledge, but nobody is needless of someone else sermon, advice, was. No matter how educated one may be, we still need to listen to others' advice, to others' sermons, to others' wa'az. This is one point. The other point is I really noticed that there are really nice and respectable ladies and gentlemen who are in young ages, who are in middle ages, who are below middle ages. And this is very nice. This means that the previous generation have been successful in bringing their children here and making them committed, so much so that they are actively participating in the development and advancement of this project. And by doing so, they are the embodiment of this comment perspective that they are not made by the environment is made by them. So they are strong. They are not melted in a pot. They want to be influential. Please keep in mind that Michael Hart, the American writer who wrote a book by the name of The 100 Most Influential Persons in History, he ranked 100 persons from different walks of life, whether philosophers, poets, politicians, commanders, and scientists. And then he asked, who are the most influential persons in history? He says the third is Jesus Christ. The second is Isaac Newton, a scientist. And he says the first and the most influential person in history is Prophet Muhammad. This means our leader, our prophet, is the strongest person in the history. This gathering is a reflection of his teachings. So, as a follower of this prophet, we should be also strong in impacting, influencing our environment. And by doing so, we beautify the environment. Everything about Islam is beauties and dignities and nobilities. So that's why I ask the youth to come forward and also ask the families to come to the center on a basis of at least weekly basis, especially for the Salatul Jum'ah. And not only that, I have classes, book reading, exchange of ideas, workshops. Otherwise, there is more chance that we will be perished, like the previous generation of Africans in Australia. You hardly find their lineage, their grandchildren. In case you come across them, they have forgotten almost everything. They just say, oh, my father used to do something like namaz. That's it. We don't want to be like that. On the contrary, we want to carry on the message of our prophet and our Lord, our imams and our creator. and then the society will benefit and we will be safer. We will be safer. This is one point. The other point in regards to the saying of Lady Zainab, who said that, "Oh Allah, please accept this sacrifice of ours." In another version, there is the word qalil. Qalil in Arabic means very little sacrifice. So at the sight of Lady Zainab, the sacrifice of Imam Hussein and her own children is a very small sacrifice. This means how humble and down to the earth our leaders were. Because sometimes when we do something nice, we like everybody to be humble in front of us. No, we should think that we have the mission to be nice and to be at the service of the people and do our job. There's no need to even expect praise and appreciation. As Imam Ali alayhi salam says, performing duty is the job of a person, and there is no need to praise someone. This is the mentality of Zainab, that she is regarding her wonderful brother as a very small and very little sacrifice. This means that we do not worship Imam Hussein. Obviously, we don't, but some people blame us that you focus and engage yourself on Imam Hussein, that you worship him. No way. According to our perception, our spokeswoman, Imam Hussein is a very little sacrifice at the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And because Lady Zainab regarded him as a very little sacrifice, that's why in return Allah gave it glory and greatness. Because in life, lots of things are in the opposite manner. Lots of things are in the opposite manner. What I mean is, you think that Imam Hussein is very little sacrifice, but Allah gives us greatness. The other example, of course, of course, Karbala and Ashura is a tragic event, no doubt about it. We should cry, we should wear black clothes, we should mourn, no doubt about it. But do you know that the outcome, the legacy, the result of this ceremony and commemoration is happiness, pleasure? How? See, principally speaking, when you cry, you become happy. When we cry, why women live longer than men? According to doctors and scientists, women live longer than men because they cry, because they take out their emotions and excitements, whereas men suppress. In our culture, men don't cry. But in Islam, men should cry. Rasulullah used to cry. Our imams used to cry because that's the best lifestyle. We shouldn't stop our tears to calm down because it brings out our emotions. It makes us light. It purifies our heart and mind. It's not a female characteristic, it's a human characteristic. If a side doesn't cry, there is a problem. Not only for Imam Hussein, for so many things, for the sin that I committed, for the fact that I'm happy for the great reward that Allah gives me, for so many good things. So the cries and the tears brings happiness. And in Persian, I will explain about it more, but I want to say that why we are happy? Because we condemned Yazid and carried Yazidi forces. We sympathized and exposed our support for Imam Hussein. We want to be Zainabi and Abbasi and Husseini. And by that, I mean the best lifestyle, the best mentality, the best characters. Among them, you're so humble and nice that you think that Imam Hussein is a very little gift and sacrifice to present at the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Isn't this that when I want you to be grateful to what I did is ruining the world and the families? So when we come and attend to these lectures, we learn the best lessons in life. And by listening and by learning, we become a better person. And since our Imam is the best, chances are it makes us the best person. Because no matter how rich and powerful you are, if you're not a nice and decent person, we are a loser. We are a loser. So Quran is Bushra. What is the meaning of Bushra? Bushra means good news. The prophets, the messengers, Bashir. Bashir means someone who gives you good news. The prophets are giving good news. They want us to walk on this path in order to gain happiness. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. And also we say that uh, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim Sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim. Guide me, O Allah, in the path that you have given them blessings, rewards, goodness. So we want to have a prosperous, happy life. And Yazid was against this ni'mat, these blessings. And that's why Imam Hussein wanted to stop him. Was Imam Hussein defeated? No way. Imam Ali alayhi salam says that a defeat which is followed by victory is not a defeat in the first stage. And the victory which is followed by defeat is not a victory in the first stage, like Hitler. Hitler was a president, he was a leader, but he was at the end of the day defeated. So even his victory, because he was able to occupy France and Poland and part of Russia, but those victories were short term. At the end of the day, he was a loser. Nobody is proud of him in Germany. It's a source of shame. So Imam Hussein, apparently he lost, but in reality he won because of his legacy, his teachings, his closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the fact that he is inspiring us, he's a role model, he's a symbol. And if we walk on this path, we will be independent, we will be progressive, we will be advanced, we will be brave and courageous, we will be highly moral and ethical. That's the outcome. And this outcome is a victory. On the contrary, when someone is killing someone else, in the first stage, he should kill himself and then kill another person. Anybody who kill someone, first of all, he should kill his conscience, his moral values and ethics, and then kill someone else. That's what a murderer does. So Imam Hussein is a victorious person. His message is not only sad, but also full of pleasure and peace and prestige. And in this epic, we learn lots and lots of lessons. One of them, to be humble, to be down to the earth. And by resorting to Imam Hussein and reading about him and spreading his message, we enlighten our mind, we educate our mind, we beautify our environment. So the story is the story of happiness, beauties, and so many other noble virtues. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.